Good evening, everyone. This is EJ Cooper. I'm a Senior Marketing Director coming at you strong. And I hope that this message that I give you tonight with regard to building your book of business not only hits you in the heart, but it hits you in the head. And you do not think too logical about this, but it makes an emotional connection with you. The goal of this presentation is to have an emotional connection with your client. Now, not only do you want that client to have an emotional connection, but you also want them to think ahead, look into their future. But at the end of the presentation, you want them to come on board with you because you have a crusade. You have something that's in your heart for helping others get to the next level in their financial picture, as well as making a financial impact in their household. So I'll begin right now. Louis, this is for you, brother. Now, I have a husband, wife, and 3 daughters. Okay? Now, the husband I will put first with respect to he's the head of the household. Unless the mom wears the pants in the house. He is married to Halle Berry. So between Louis and Halle, I'll say, hey, Louis, tell me something about your financial goals. And he'll tell me, hey, I want to pay off some debt. I'm looking to save some extra money. We got a trip coming up. Well, outside of those things, Louis, well, what I want to do is I want to know what your goals are. I want to know what your dreams are. And I want to know where you guys would travel given that money was not an object. Where would you go? He said, hey, my goals right now, I got to put kid number 1 in college, pay down debt. I got to buy a new car. I want to save money. Oh, man, Louis, those are some wonderful goals, brother. And now tell me, what are some of your dreams? He said, well, what's the difference between the two? Because not too many people know the difference between goals and dreams. The absolute difference between a goal and a dream is very simple. Goals, these are things you're going to hit between 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Now, dreams, these are something that's stretched out where you got to dig deep in order to pull the effort out of you to acquire this dream. No matter what, when you wake up and go to bed, you're thinking about this dream. The difference between the goal and the dream is if God called your number right now and you're laying in the bed in the hospital, this dream that you did not accomplish is going to eat you alive. Literally, it's going to hurt your heart because you were not able to accomplish it. So some of your dreams, Louis, okay, you want to see your daughter get married. So a big wedding for the 3 girls. Okay? They actually graduate from college. Oh, you want to be debt-free and financially free. Hey, Louis, those are some good dreams that you got right there, man. I like those dreams. Now, what about travel? Where would you go? Money's no object right now. You have all the money in the world to go where you want, do what you want to do. Where are some places you would travel? Okay, you talk about Europe. Okay. Saint Martin. Where else? Okay. Boat trip around the world. Oh man, hey, those are some wonderful travel goals that you have right there, Louis. But let me ask you a question, Louis. Outside of this circle, who else is important to you and your family? Okay, we're gonna put down Christina. We're gonna put down Vero. We're gonna put down Kathy. Okay. What I want to do, Louis, is focus on mom and dad because they're still living. Or if they passed away. Between you and your beautiful wife, Halle. Now let me ask you a question. Between the brothers and sisters that you like, is it okay if I put them on this list as well? So we're going to write down Jack. We're going to write down Bobby. We're going to write down June, because you got 3 brothers that you actually like. The other ones you don't like them, so I'm going to put them on the list. Let me ask you a question, Louis. If something happens to you, God forbid, but if something did happen to you in regards to your health, because we realize today that our health is equivalent to our wealth. But if you are no longer healthy and you have less earning power for money, then who's affected first in your circle? Hallie. Of course she is. She's the first one. And outside of her, who's affected next? We got Vero. We got Christina. We got Kathy. So you got your 3 girls and your son right here that's affected because of some type of health-related issue. Now, let me ask you a question, Louis. What does this do for those goals? You know, college for one kid, that's $100K right there for a 4-year accredited university, $25,000 a year. If something happens to you health-wise and you cannot go to work, how do you also now expect to pay down debt? And what happens to that goal of buying that new car? Now, the money that you said you want to save, okay, what's going to happen with that savings? You're going to use it to take care of your health bills, right? And you can't go to work. Now your spouse, she's working twice as hard, and maybe she gets tired, and after using all of your money that you had saved, what do you think we're going to do next? We're going to ask mom and dad for support. Okay? Now, let me ask you a question, Louis. Where's your dignity there? How does it make you feel as a man knowing that you got 3 girls and your boy that looks up to you, but you got to reach out to mommy and daddy for financial support? That trip that you have for Europe, it's done. St. Martin, done. The boat trip, done. Now, let me ask you a question. As far as your sweetheart, Hallie, every mom wants to see their daughter have a big wedding. What do you think that does for her pride as a mom, knowing that she can no longer pay for that wedding? The graduation from college, your kids are already in a 4-year university. They got to drop out of school now and go to a JC, junior college, in order to get their degree, hopefully get some grants and scholarships. But that takes them a step back. Actually, this picture gets a little bit more dull. The picture turns around because Christina's the oldest. Mom's working. Now Christina has to go get a job to support the family. This sounds a little bit common, right? Christina gets a job to support the family. Kathy now, she gets a job to support the family. But hey, these kids plan on getting married. They plan on graduating from college. That day's done now, because now they got to support mom and dad's picture. They got to help out with their circle. Let me ask you, as a father, as a husband, as a man, you know, this doesn't really look too good. But you know what? We got a solution for your family. We got a solution for your circle. We got a solution for the 300 million families in their circles that are currently living like this, because for some reason they got a health issue, or they got laid off from their job, or they got some type of condition that was pre-existing. They didn't know too much about it until about a year later and found out it's in their DNA, but now they can't go back to work, or they got into a car accident. Something has happened to where this family can no longer have the same financial earning power, but you are the one and only person that can help this family, okay, with this presentation. Getting back to the presentation, that does take away some of the dreams that this family had, okay, but what we can do to help this family is we can protect a couple of things to prevent them from having to, Louis, go into brothers, because these brothers have their own families to take care of. Essentially, this is what happens. The checking account, it gets exhausted. The savings account, it gets exhausted. The 401k, we're going to pull out of this, and we're going to get taxed, and we're going to get penalized because we're not 59 and a half. The life insurance policy, guess what? They're going to cancel this life insurance policy, but I guarantee you they'll keep their cable TV. Every mom has a Batman account. She won't tell you about it because you're going to turn her into Robin, but she's going to end up touching that as well. So this picture that we've created right here, I want to protect this family's financial well-being, but most importantly, we want to protect this family circle because I have a family circle too. Okay? And this is something that happens in every single family. Well, something will happen to mom or dad, and the kids are left with the responsibility to take care of mom and dad. And Christina's going to argue with Kathy because she's going to say, I took care of mom this week. I took care of dad this week. I need you to pick up the pieces because I have things to do. Vero's going to say, hey, I'm busy right now as well. There's not too much I can really do. I got my own life to live. So now who's going to step in? You're going to call Bobby. You're going to call Jack. You're going to call June. Mom and dad, they're retired. They're too old to wipe your butt and take care of you. So now what's the next thing that's going to happen? This family picture no longer looks the same way. Because right here we have a house. We got a couple of cars. We got the babies up here. Okay, we got the kids up here. And guess who's holding this whole entire fort up? Okay, this is very simple. The family that's holding this fort up is the strongest family, but it all falls down on mom. Now, how do you think mom feels about that? Because she got to get a second job and a third job. And the kids got to go to work as well. When all this circle, the household, and their financial picture can be all well protected. This is part one. Part two to this presentation is very simple. We have two parts to this presentation because I want to get into the family's world. I want to know their goals. I want to know their dreams. I want to know where they want to travel. I want to know how much they put into their checking account. I want to know how much they put into their savings account. I want to know how much mom puts into her Batman account. She's not going to tell me because I'm not supposed to know that she has a Batman account. Every mom has a Batman account. Okay? How do we protect this family circle? It's very simple. First thing I'm going to talk about with you guys today is the importance of life insurance. The importance of life insurance, it works one way. We die, the insurance pays our wives and our kids, or vice versa. If our spouse passes away, the insurance pays the husband and the kids. Insurance is simple. It's to replace the income. So if I make $50,000 a year, give me $500,000 of coverage so my family will have 10 years of protection. So this $500,000 policy, typically the most common form of insurance that's purchased today, it's called term insurance. Okay? It will last, some are 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. We got 25 and 30 years. But there's an issue with this. I'm 31 years old today, so it's going to be cheap for me to be at 31. I put 30 here, but at 31 it's cheap. 40, maybe 50 bucks, depending on how much coverage I get. I want a $500,000 policy, so let's just say it's $40, okay? Now, the problem is I'm not going to be 30 years younger. I'm going to be 60 years old when this expires, okay? Some people still have mortgages, some don't. And the old way of buy a term, invest the rest, that day's done. Because how many people do you know that's 60 years old and they have a free and clear home, the mortgage is paid off? No, they still are actually paying mortgages because they pulled out equity to do the backyard, the kitchen, something happened with the plumbing, whatever happened, so they have extended their mortgage. So that day is done. Now, another issue is I'm 60 years old, I'm no longer paying $40 a month. If I have a pre-existing condition or health-related issues, or now I have diabetes, because guess what? It's in my DNA. This is now $400 to $500. At 60 years old, I don't want to pay that much money. Another issue that we have right here with this term policy is let